Let's hold hands.
Okay, Tara, we don't have
Who
time.
can say whether... Okay, Tarak. Hey, I'm Zainab.
And I'm Mia.
And welcome to another episode of Sprinkles and Spice.
And who else tried to take down the patriarchy while they were PMSing?
Honestly, every day. I don't have to be PMSing to want to take down the patriarchy.
Yeah, but when I'm PMSing, I'm like extra about it. I'm like, I'm gonna take down all men.
Gather the patriarchy! Gather the troops!
Equal pay!
Rally everyone! Yeah.
Rally the group chat.
Rally the group chat, honestly.
How many group chats have you muted? I've muted every group chat.
All my group chats are muted. I don't get notifications for group chats.
My mom and my uncles have this thing where they want to call me on the group chat. That's the new habba.
The new habba.
And like sometimes like halfway through, like I try to talk and no one's listening to me, so I just leave. And you can join again. It's like I'll wait half an hour and then like I'll come back in and I'll figure out where the conversation's gone. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I have no idea what's happening.
Speaking of group chats, have you ever been in a girl group where all of you synced together?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We had, like, in our group, we had our moment where I would sync with you. But the problem is when you have different groups of girls, and you just, your hormones start like going all over the place. You sync with this group one period, and then the next period
I'm
you're
always
syncing.
the one syncing with everyone. I'm the most irregular girl. The second I spend 5
She's
minutes
a
with a
follower.
girl,
She's not a leader. She's a
one
follower.
thing about me is the hormones are followers. It's not
Yeah.
me. It's them. They're beta. They're so beta.
Yeah.
Second, I hang out with someone. Wow, I was struggling for a minute there. Things were all going well. 5 minutes with a girl, all of a sudden I'm synced. I'm like, girl.
I mean, as a PCOS girly, it's tough. PCOS. PCOS. It's honestly, it's tough because like I never know who I'm gonna sync with, and then sometimes I'm not syncing with anyone. I'm just doing my own thing.
Freestyle.
You know what I mean?
You freestyle.
I really freestyle. But the thing that it does is like when my hormones are all out of whack, don't come near me. Don't just
I'm all out of whack.
do it. Like,
What is this song? I'm all out of what? It's all I'm all in love.
I'm out of love. Anastasia.
No. I'm all out of love. Na, na, na. Whatever.
I think I feel like I know it.
You do.
But I don't know if you're singing out of tune or the lyrics are wrong.
It's a combination of both.
Yeah, but I feel like if you've ever crossed paths with me when I'm PMSing or hormonal,
Walk
or
away.
just
Go to another path. Change paths.
Don't do it.
When you're PMSing and you have a mental breakdown, which over here,
MNTB.
little MTV,
Little
love
MTV.
MTV. It's scary because I'm like, I know you're PMSing and I know you know, but you go so deep that I'm like, there's no pulling her out, so I'm just gonna let her ride it out.
I sometimes feel like I've been possessed by a demon, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I see
Like,
what you mean.
and it's usually like when it's irregular, but thank God, thank Allah, like lately my girlie has been managing her symptoms. My girlie's me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I said that about myself. My period. I think
Like,
that's
who's the
what-
girlie? Aunt Flo has been on
Aunt
time.
Flo has been. No, honestly, I think like working out, eating healthy has been helping.
Oh my
me.
God, speaking of working out, we've joined. Well,
Yes! Me
I've joined
my
her gym. So now you're my business partner and my best friend and my gym buddy.
Her gym buddy. Oh my God, no! The gym has now become a lot more fun, for sure.
No, this is crazy. Guys, I've already injured myself. I already tore my ligaments. So
No, please tell people she has the weirdest injury, and I think only Mia would get this injury.
real.
Yeah.
Real. So this, for people watching, I'm pointing to this area. It hurts.
It's blue.
Well, yeah.
No, here it's blue.
Well, yeah, because I've torn my ligaments.
She's torn the ligaments.
It's
of
between my
her
thumb and my index. Yeah. Everything hurts. Moving my hand hurts. I can still scroll because I can use my left hand now, so all's good.
Honestly, I'm convinced that this is not a gym injury. I think this is a scrolling injury.
As I left the gym, I was in pain.
so hard.
I didn't scroll the gym. As I left the gym, I was like, ow.
It was probably before, and it just caught up with you. Your life choices have caught up with you.
I don't think that's the case because like I can never get injured from doing my favorite thing ever, scrolling in bed.
How do you injure that area? She tore the ligament between her thumb and her index.
The worst part is the heaviest weight I lifted that day was 5 kilograms. So it's like, did I really tear my ligaments with like a 5 kilogram dumbbell? It's so embarrassing. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie.
How much are you carrying? Don't just do what you can. Just do what you can.
No, but I keep asking because I have to divide it by 4.
No, so, when you went for the 2 kilograms and she was so serious, she's like, I'm like, no, you're not. The hell you are not. Go get those 5 kilograms. She's like, 2.
I was like, I'm injured. I have to go for 2. I still stand on my 5, but you know, I just want you guys to know that I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up.
Yeah. And I can attest to that. Mm-hmm. She's staying strong at the gym. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we don't see
well, today you
injured.
kicked my hip bone.
Forgot. And then you kicked my arm.
Yeah. On accident.
By accident. Or was it?
It wasn't.
No, I need your hip bone and you kicked my hand.
That's crazy. How did you knee my hip bone? Like, first of all, okay, girl, you are raising
to get
those
off
legs.
the machine. You were standing so close. I was like trying to put my leg over the machine.
No.
And then I need your hip bone.
Crazy. But the gym is so fun with you.
It is fun. I enjoy the gym.
I act crazy. Zainab, I was gonna say we act crazy. No, you don't. I act during.
I'm so serious at the gym. I'm like, I'm here to do my workout. I am so focused.
I'm here to have a good time. As usual, I'm here to have a giggle.
Yeah.
Today, someone was playing some crazy music. I was dancing along.
She wanted to befriend the group. So this group at the gym, I see them all the time. They're a group of girls like... don't get me wrong, like they kind of do annoy me because they bring coffee, like Arabic coffee.
Yes, but I want to have the Arabic coffee, so I'm
and then they literally take the box and they use it as a coffee stand and they put coffee cups and they like the matara, the what do you call it? The thermos?
Yeah, the thermos.
The coffee thermos.
Yeah.
And then like their bags and stuff on the freaking box.
Yes, I love them.
In the middle of the rig.
My people. That's my people. You guys, today, the way I went rounds around that coffee, next week, catch me hanging out with them. Catch me like pausing and chatting.
I'm just going to be side-eyeing you. I'm like, ugh, these people just ruined the gym.
They had a remix, a Kuwaiti version remix of
Mambo number 5?
Of Mambo number 5.
It wasn't Kuwaiti, it was Iraqi.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know things clearly.
It was that... do you know that song طارق اللي طارق أم
طارق Scottish Scottish gal.
Do you know that song اللي something like it starts with Why am I doing this dance?
What's with us?
I don't know, but it's basically this Iraqi song. It's something like اكسر الخشمة العالي or something like that. And they took, I think that's the beat, and they remixed it with Mambo. They did a mashup with Mambo number 5.
I was dancing.
She was dancing and she was singing a little bit of Aisha on my side, a little bit of Sheikha.
No. Honestly, I had to do the ad-libs with the Arab names because it was a vibe. And they had Egyptian music, and every single like party song came up.
Yeah.
I knew the lyrics.
No,
and I was like,
fun.
how do you know this?
No, look, today's playlist was fun. Sometimes their playlists, I'm just like, guys, no.
Can we make requests, do you think?
Maybe we'll try next time.
I'm going to test my luck.
Yeah. Maybe you can befriend them and then I'll just be like, hi, I come in peace. Please don't hate me.
Yeah.
And take all the equipment. Anyways, you guys, today's episode, do you want to get into today's episode?
Do I want to?
Do you want to?
Or do I want to keep chit-chatting?
I would love to keep chit-chatting, but our guest
is about to come.
Okay. And she's a very special guest. I'm excited for today's episode. Are you?
I'm so excited for today's episode.
I'm super stoked.
I've never been more excited.
Period.
And that's on period, literally.
That's on period. So today we're going to be talking about periods. Kind of, sort of. Our guest today is an entrepreneur. She is the founder and owner of Leap. Hind Alkhatrash, welcome to the Pink Studio.
Woo, woo.
Wait, where's camera 2? There we go. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. This has been like a few months in the making. We've been talking about this for a while. Every time we run into each other, I'm like,
It's
podcast,
always like in
please. Yeah.
passing, "Hey, we have to do this, we have to do this," and then
Yeah.
you finally
And we finally
we
did.
made it.
We finally made it.
I'm trying to make a pad pun and I can't think of anything right now. And I'm like, think first. We found a way to fit it.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about like the taboo surrounding. I know you've talked about this a lot, I'm sure, but we do want to also get into it, like the taboo around periods, a little bit about sustainability, and then a little bit about your journey.
Being a female entrepreneur is not easy. Having your business.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure,
How did
we
it
make
start?
work. Now, hey, the how did it start story is always funny because I just kind of fell into it. It wasn't really a deliberate choice.
There are so many puns to do, but I will just shut up.
That when it came to Leap, I had the initial aerial circus studio at the very start. And then I kind of got into environmentalism around 2018, 2019. And I think what really drew me into the whole kind of sustainability green movement was just the innovation I was seeing in that area, the way people were kind of rethinking things, going back to old ways or roots of doing things. And I just loved the sense of innovation behind that. And so I kind of dabbled in that a bit myself. I started looking at all these like little Kickstarter projects that were going on. People who were trying to make reusable soap bottles, people who were trying to come up with really ingenious ideas of how to kind of repurpose something. And I started this Instagram page. It's like almost like, I call it a green guide Instagram account. And it served like a local guide for the average Kuwaiti who was interested in doing a little green deed every day. So be it knowing where to recycle or how to upcycle certain things or where to find certain items that are more eco-conscious than others. And it was just a very kind of casual thing I was doing on the side until I got Suno. Suno is the period care brand that I carry. They're most known for, at least here, for their bamboo pads. And I came across them in Australia. That was just like where the magic happened, where things kind of really took a turn for the better. I saw what they were about. They're like the social enterprise, really amazing work. They feature women artists on their packaging, and then 50% of their profits go to funding girls' education as well. And so it's like a full cycle moment of, you know, providing a better product and doing good with that, the profits, and using the packaging to feature other women. So the business model, I think, is what really kind of got me. And I was so hooked, sent an email. I had nothing to lose. And it turns out the founder was right within the neighborhood I was staying at.
Wow.
So yeah, very serendipitous. We met for brunch, we talked and made it happen. And so I came back to Kuwait with a box of Suno, flew right off the shelves immediately, kept restocking, and I just kind of followed where the traffic and all the interest was. I did eventually carry some other personal care items, but nothing moved like Suno did. And I think with that, I realized there's such a gap in the market for something like this. There weren't any sustainable period care options. I'd already kind of done my research and explored the field as I was kind of running Leap Loves Green back then. And I felt there was a demand for cleaner period care products. And that's where I kind of honed in, doubled down on this venture, and here we are today.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so inspiring.
Yeah.
It's crazy that there would be that awareness, but I guess I'm going to get a bit deep here, but I guess we've all felt that sometimes you use a period care product and you get an adverse reaction. So there are chemicals and pesticides. There's really crazy stuff that's sprayed on there usually that isn't getting talked about enough.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll never forget that light bulb moment where I realized we don't have to settle for the status quo of whatever is available on the grocery store shelves. There are better options out there.
Yeah.
We do deserve better. And it just never occurred to me. Genuinely, I think we're all on just like autopilot of, you know, using the same brand we've seen around our households, inherited the same kind of brands and products our mothers or elder sisters use, without really kind of making a conscious decision as to what works for
100%.
me, and how I would feel most comfortable in my period.
Yeah. So I do want to ask one thing. I mean, I think from what you said, people can deduce that your brand is sustainable female products, or like products for periods.
Right.
But I know that there is I don't know if it's a lack of awareness when it comes to sustainability in the region. Was that something that you faced? Like, was that a challenge in introducing like sustainable feminine products? Like, how did you tackle that?
Absolutely. I think if there's one thing I am kind of most proud of when it comes to Leap, is generating a demand for a product that was never on demand or never in demand. And that had to happen through a lot of education, I feel, of kind of bringing to light the fact that this product, yes, is great and better for the environment, because these pads at the end of the day are biodegradable and made with plant-based plastics. But they're also better for yourself before the environment even. They're a lot healthier, they're a lot cleaner, they're free of any bleach, chloride, fragrances, all of that. And the world back in 2019, when I first started, and today has really evolved. Like, the responses I get online, the kind of awareness, the support is very, very different. And so I think there has been just a general movement and an in-depth education towards wellness, I want to say, that people have this kind of awakening that kind of happened maybe post-COVID, that could be a contributor to people wanting to be more healthy, more aware, more conscious of their wellness. But yeah, people get it, and people now understand its importance and grasp its value.
Do you have the statistics by any chance on what happens to a pad that's not sustainable as opposed to a sustainable pad?
Oof. So the pads on grocery store shelves at the moment are an average of 90% plastic. Even the ones made with cotton, that's often just the top layer of the pad itself, but then you have the absorbent layer, the leak-proof layer at the bottom, the wings. These are all made with plastic and also wrapped in plastic. So they're very plastic-heavy materials and essentially don't break down. But yeah, in terms of a statistic of someone's kind of menstruation period, let's say, if a woman were to take into account all the periods she'd have in her lifetime and kind of have them back to back, it would accumulate to a total of 10 years. So imagine a collective of 10 years worth of period care products, the period experience. It's a significant chunk of our lives.
Yeah.
And we think it's just a 1 week, debacle that we have a month and that's it. But it really does shape a big portion. So I think not only does it come down to period care products, but also the period experience, which we are trying to now kind of elevate and complement with other products.
You definitely elevate it, because I love looking at those Suno boxes in my bathroom, especially because I know that I don't know if you're the one that facilitated this, but we had collabs with local artists as well. Manayet, I think Jenna as well. And who else am I missing?
So our first round was done with Manayet, Mira Shami, Jenna Al-Awadi. They did the boxes for the super pads and the panty liners. And then we also tried to cover a more regional Arab women artists for the packaging. This time around, we have a Palestinian artist, we have a Sudanese artist, we have a Yemeni artist and a Kuwaiti artist always. So we really try to kind of touch on Arab women, and then especially underrepresented Arab women in the space.
And when you speak, I get goosebumps, because you really are for the people.
She's
you are for
the girls,
the culture,
the culture for the culture.
But like, you make it sound easy. I'm sure it wasn't as easy as you make it sound, especially because you had to, first of all, introduce like the package, the idea of like sustainable products,
right?
And then like wellness, and then also you are promoting it in Arabic.
Right.
And we know that like it's quite a taboo topic to talk about it. Like it's not normalized for us to talk about periods like this. So
even saying it, I feel like you and I are like, should we keep saying periods? But it's like, yeah, okay, it's normal.
Time of
Why
the
wouldn't
month,
we?
maybe.
yeah, that's the thing. We say time of the month, or you know what I mean. We have all these
Surfing
kind
the
of, like,
crimson wave on flow, like
Yeah.
it's a lot of things.
So how did you maneuver, or how did you navigate that?
Yeah, I think one thing I most enjoy or appreciate about my journey in Leap is there was never a blueprint. Actually, I mean, that's probably both the upside and downside to running Leap has always been the fact that there was never a blueprint. It's great in the sense that you now get to set the blueprint and you kind of see how you determine how this industry works. But it's also, as a young entrepreneur, really scary trying to navigate on your own with like no prior experience. But I definitely learned through trial and error how to kind of find that language and how to kind of find that cultural sensitivity when discussing this topic, and how to kind of navigate around that. There were videos that definitely backfired. People felt were like too in your face, they were too aggressive, they were too radical for them, and they could have been like as simple as me kind of being at the grocery store, throwing boxes of pads into my cart, and it was like such a
Wow,
That's crazy.
Well,
It was such a
we need to like
controversy.
get into that in a little bit. That's crazy. I need to know details about this.
Yeah, and then there are other ways where I kind of approach the topic where I'm maybe not on screen. I'm more focused on the pad itself. We cut to shots of the product and then shots of my face, and it's not both of us on screen. It's really weird, but I think like I have down to a science now as to kind of what resonates and what repulses.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
3-4 years maybe to kind of really no,
but I think that
Bring
is
it
just
down.
a testament to like that as an entrepreneur, you have to be resilient and ride those waves and figure it out. And I love that you did that.
Repulses is a strong word, though. Did you find that you get that reaction mainly from men or women?
Both, actually.
That's the question I wanted to ask. Really, but mostly, would you say, or you think it's even?
Maybe even. And this is, again, very early stages of Leap. Today it's a completely different playing field.
Yeah.
We have a lot of advocates, we have a lot of supporters, we have a lot of loyal customers in the comments section now, kind of encouraging the kind of content we put out. And I have noticed, once you establish a good few positive comments, the positive ones keep rolling in. It's really hard for someone to kind of be a hater in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a journey, but I think we're kind of in a good place right now with this.
I think also because I don't believe anyone in the region is doing what you're doing, or marketing it the way that you are, and it's so fun. Honestly, like I enjoy, like I love the branding more than anything, and I love seeing your videos and how hands-on you are as an entrepreneur. Yani mo, it's not just because you're like kind of like breaking a barrier with a taboo topic. It's not just that, it's also like seeing you like as a content creator, as an entrepreneur, and doing all of that and looking good while doing it and making it look easy and fun. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So was that something that like just came to you, or did it take time?
I was very keen on the fun, upbeat aspect. From day one, I always knew I wanted to kind of shy away from the hyper feminized idea of a period. The flowers, the pink, the butterflies, but rather I wanted something that just felt vibrant and welcoming and inclusive. And so that's how the branding kind of came about. For the longest time, we went on with Leap without the color pink at all. It's only
Can't relate.
very recently that we incorporated pink. And it just really helped set us apart. And Leap, I always say, is just an extension of who I am in one way or another. I am quite neutral most days, but in my heart of hearts, I am that girl's girl. That's
We feel it. No, it's like I feel like it represents your energy, your aura, I think, right?
I hope. I
Yeah.
hope. I think that's why it's kind of easy for me to kind of maintain the brand, because it's just me trying to be me online.
You have an entrepreneurial aspect to yourself. You are coming back from Australia. You're telling your parents, hey guys, I am going to start selling feminine hygiene products. What was the actual
And I'm
reaction?
gonna put my face next to the pad.
It's me and pads against the world. What are they? How are they feeling? What was the reaction? Like, what happened there?
Bless them. They were they were very supportive, but also didn't really know how to kind of react or respond to any of what was going on. They appreciated the fact that I wanted to kind of start a business, but also were like, "Ooh, does it have to be that business though? Does it really have to be that business?" And I'm glad it kind of started as a sustainable concept store, if you will, before kind of morphing into a period care brand. But I think they really started warming up to it, the bigger and the more it started to kind of grow.
The more money you made.
The more money you make.
But like when you
Essentially.
started getting backlash, how was their reaction? Were they like, oh, we told you this was gonna happen? Or was it more of like supportive and like, don't listen to the haters kind of thing?
I don't think they were very online during those early years. And so it was just me kind of taking screenshots and laughing about it with my friends on
Yeah.
WhatsApp. That's how I kind of coped with the hate early on. And I was always very comfortable with deleting those comments, because I was keen on creating a safe space for my audience. So I felt if this comment was going to shame anyone from asking a question, posting a comment, leaving something, having something to say, then this comment doesn't deserve to be here. So I was always like on top of trying to clear that comment section from any hate, and coping with it through laughing with friends.
I love that. I think that's a lesson for us as
I
well.
was just gonna say, I was like,
Yeah.
can we finally delete the idiots that say dumb stuff? So I was like, no, it's fine for you to
No,
speak.
because
No,
honestly,
shut
like,
up.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, it's tricky, when you first we go through a journey. Like when we first started getting the comments, we didn't know what to do with them. We didn't know how to detach from Zainab and Mia on Sprinkles and Spice, and then Zainab and Mia in real life.
Right.
And it felt like whatever they were saying, like we would take it to heart, kind
Yeah.
of. And then, I mean, maybe me more than you. Sometimes it depends on the comment. I think, and it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days Mia would get so mad at a comment, and I'm like,
Sometimes they answer back, and then that's it. We're riffing now, back and forth.
And in the beginning, I think I used to like kind of go back and forth with them, and we'd start an argument. And then, because I realized a lot of people, like those kind of people who would leave comments like that, like you shouldn't even like give them the time of day, because first of all, they would take it to another level where you're like, this is way beneath me. Like I cannot honestly like talk to someone who speaks on this level. But then you start detaching, and you're like, we went through a phase where we're like, okay, we, like you said, want to create more of like a safe and open and like, communal space. But I don't know, we go through a journey, but now I think I'm convinced after what you said.
Zainab,
I think
my favorite is when the spam fam, when the girly pops go off. Oh my God, today we had a doctor comment and shut people's mouths up. And I was like, I love her. She is my doctor now. I'm going to go book a consultation. I don't know which she's a doctor of, but she's my doctor.
Yeah, but I really do believe it is important. Like a lot of people think, it's bad if you delete comments. But if you are trying to create a community for like-minded people, I think it is important to delete those comments and weed out all those like haters and people who don't belong here in the first place. Men.
Absolutely.
No, but it's like a very specific type, like, because we're now 30% male audience, which is crazy because
Okay.
Yeah.
we're just as shocked as everyone else.
When
Like,
we
okay,
started, it was
welcome.
like 85% women.
Yeah, and then it
I
went
think,
up to 90.
15. Yeah. It went up
And-
to 90 and then now it's down to 70.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They ruined it for
No, but I'm so happy to have these men because these are the men that like are part of the conversation. They're open minded enough to understand that hey, girls have something to say that's of value.
Yeah.
It's not just a boys' world out there. But this specific genre of men are just the haters. They have nothing to offer us.
They're probably the same ones that are commenting on your video.
yeah, like shaming us for being girls and having a conversation
Yeah.
Literally.
and having periods.
I do actually want to get into that, like because I think it's not just a thing that's regional, like the how there's like a lot of taboo surrounding the topic. I think it's global, but maybe like elsewhere in the world, they've kind of made more, strides or breakthroughs like sooner than we have.
Yeah.
But it's weird for me that there is this discomfort when we talk about this thing that happens to women every month.
Yeah.
Most women, you know what I mean? Every month. So why are we still uncomfortable? Why are people still like they feel a certain way? You know what I mean? Like even like at home, like if for example, like I can't tell my brother like, oh, I'm on my period. Like why?
Yeah, it is weird.
It's just the way we.
Tonic is Tonic is losing it.
Tariq is uncomfortable right now. Are we making you uncomfortable?
Let's get Tariq's input on this. Why do you feel?
Yeah, actually, can we
Tariq,
get
tell
your
us.
can we get your input? Can we get your input? Why do you feel uncomfortable?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Tonic is our
Sure.
people. Tonic is poppy for a reason.
But I think it's a general lack of awareness when it comes to the topic, and I think it's like it starts at an early age where as girls we're told to be ashamed of it or
It
hide
feels
it.
dirty.
Yeah.
Like there's an idea that periods are dirty, and it's like it's really not.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Even like shopping, like I remember as a teenager, and even as as far as like maybe when I went to Jama, like college, I would be so embarrassed like shopping for pads or whatever at the grocery store, and I try to hide it under a lot of things, and then as I grew older I was like, why? And I just like put it there. I'm like, yeah, this happens. Deal with
all
it.
it takes, I think, is just a little reframing
Yeah.
of it from being like this mysterious, unspoken event that happens once a month to just this very healthy biological process a woman's body goes through every month. And I think part of that is leaving boys out of the conversation. It's a
Yeah.
girls only thing. It's somebody should. And so you see boys, getting all the way through college without really understanding how a woman's body works, no concept of the period or what a period experience looks like. There are these TikToks, it's probably because of my algorithm at this point, but there are these TikToks of people, of these like women that survey men on the street and stuff, and they're like, how many pads do you think a woman goes through a week?
I love
my
these.
God.
I've seen them.
And they're like,
crazy.
hey, 2 pads. Or like draw a circle as to like how much blood you think a pad absorbs, and they're like 1.5 dots. They have no clue, and they're out there making decisions on women's bodies, which is insane.
Exactly.
But
No, my favorite is when they go even deeper than that, and they're like, okay, and they show them pictures of random things, like what part of the female, like body is this, like where is it exactly? And they have no idea because they don't even know, like if you show them an X-ray, they don't know what's what.
Right.
So it's like, how can you make any decision? You're not educated enough.
I think I saw this video of this girl. She went to like a pro-life.
Yes.
Is that what the one
yes.
where she would make up words and she's like, where is the like? I don't know. She'd make up random words and they would just give you like a
make up words back.
and
And they would-
confidence.
with such confidence. Where I'm like, I wish I had the confidence.
But yeah, I think had that, or if that is ever addressed, it's really just a matter of a generation or two before this becomes a very normalized topic. It's very white of us to want to kind of be out there and celebrate it and free bleed and whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't have to be as hush hush and super shameful
Exactly, yeah.
as it is today.
I think a balance
yeah.
is nice, somewhere in between.
I appreciate
Yeah.
our cultural sensitivity. I appreciate just the ذوق and overall demure that
Yeah,
we have
the
as
modesty.
a culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be great to preserve that, but also women don't have to be living in absolute crippling shame.
Yeah. I mean, context also is important. Like, you have a business that you're trying to promote. So obviously this is what you're going to be talking about. So it's not like you're out there, you know, just talking about it for no reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which, like you said, like, that's where I feel like the balance needs to happen, is that, like, obviously I'm not going to be creating content on, you know, like, day one of my period. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you said, like, we're not white.
Although, you know, I personally wouldn't be mad at that. And I can't tell if that's because I lived in white countries for most of my life.
White gal. Doing white gal things. But I get it. I feel like it depends on the person. But I also do believe that even like different women experience periods in different ways, and we don't acknowledge that as well. We don't really like, I don't know, we don't talk about that as
We
much.
don't talk about how some of us are so deep in our depression and we're just crying in bed and we're in pain. We're in excruciating pain. And then some girls like, yeah, I'm going to run a marathon. No biggie.
Yeah.
What?
Were we bleeding the same?
Yeah.
I had a story time.
Story time.
I had a, like, I used to work at a corporate office, and I had the worst PMS. It was so bad. Like, my cramps were killing me to the point where I was like, I cannot stay in this office. And I was like, I need to leave. And my boss is a man. And I'm like, how do I explain this to him? You know what I mean? Where I'm like, this is where I think we need to educate women on how to have maybe these conversations.
Right.
Because obviously, like I said, like, different women experience cramps or PMS different ways. Some have it worse than others. And I, you know, had to come up with some excuse as to why I need to leave. And then I was shamed by another girl in my office who was like, oh, I don't understand you girls. You're so spoiled. Like, oh my God, it's not that bad. No. And I'm like, I am here dying. I just want to get home and be in the fetal position and pop meds and cry myself to sleep.
Shut up. What do you mean it's not that bad? It's not that bad for you. No, I have a corporate story time on that.
Yeah.
I walked into my boss's office and I was like, I have lady problems. I gotta go.
Keep it short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Lady day. Lady day.
I was like, I'm suffering as a woman. Respect me. And he was like, he thought I was being dramatic. And I was like, you can't speak on that. You're a man. And I went home.
Well
As
done.
you should. Good for you.
Corporate story time, my part. I've never actually worked at a corporate company before, but
Congratulations. Good choice.
And I've done this government sector. I've done my dues, yani, yeah. But my corporate story time actually happened this morning. I went to pitch to my first ever corporation to offer free pads within the workplace and have that product available and accessible to women. We are yet to hear back from management, but thoughts and prayers.
That's exciting.
Hey.
I do think feminine care products should be given out for free because it's not like we had a choice.
Exactly. And they should be treated as essentials, just the way soap is, just the way tissues are, just the way water is within a bathroom facility. Pads are an essential part of women's needs.
So I feel like you haven't just created a brand, you've created a community. And the feedback, like you said, has been great from the people who matter. What is
People who matter. True.
people who matter?
Absolutely.
What is something that stood out for you in terms of feedback? Like, what was something that made you feel like, this is why I'm doing it, this is why I want to continue doing it?
Oh boy. I think probably it's the pop-ups that I host from time to time. I usually space them out far and farther apart, but I had 2 back-to-back pop-ups in November and then one very recently. And I'll never forget the one back in November, Exir Expo. This woman just like in passing, didn't even stop to say this, but she just while she's kind of making her way through the crowd, she's like, "Inti أكثر واحدة ختمتي المرأة." And she walks past.
So translation, you are the one that
Served?
has served women the most.
Yeah.
Women, and it just it made my heart drop.
I have goosebumps right now.
And she just said it jokingly and laughed it off. وشي كانت بعبايتها ومنقبة, and I never really got to see who she was, but she just like dropped the comment and laughed.
I love that.
I love her.
Yeah.
And that just really resonated. I get so many beautiful people passing by and sharing their kind words with me, but there was something about what she said that just hit home.
Yeah.
Really, really hit home.
Yeah, because I feel like you actually do that, like تخدمين للمرأة, you know what I mean? And is that something that's important to you?
I guess it is. I think it was something that I never knew I needed to hear until I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, I have to ask, since we asked about the highlight, what's the biggest hurdle so far?
Surprisingly, I'd say logistics, money side of things. Although we're like 5 years into this, I still am kind of figuring things out when it comes to the numbers. Shout out to Dad. Never makes me forget. Check my numbers and do
Is
my
he
accounting.
a finance person?
He's a business person, but he's very invested in Leap, which I appreciate. So he's like, غيرتي أسعارك، سويتي هذا، وصلتي هذا،
he keeps tabs on everything.
He's such a hands-on dad.
I love that. Oh, shout out, Dad.
But that is still very much stressful, and I just want to I just want to execute, I just want to create, and if the bank account looks healthy, I'm fine. But very suddenly, invoices just kind of start popping out of nowhere, and I find myself in the negatives, not really kind of making as much profit as I'd hope. And so I'm feeling like I'm just starting to get the handle and hang of things there, and logistically figuring out, how much stock to order, when to place a reorder, managing the cash flow and all of that. Well, it's the day-to-day admin stuff that are my lows, and they've gone so bad to a point where we had no stock for a month and a half, 2 months. Oof. Which was like detrimental for a business that has to, like monthly commitments to make. But it was a big shortcoming on my end, but I take it as a good sign because it meant our stock sold out faster than expected. I didn't anticipate needing more pads than I did, but yeah, it's still something I'm trying hard to avoid from happening again.
Do you have anyone helping you, or are you a one-woman show? Because the way you're talking seems...
I was going to ask, I was like, I'm confused. I'm like, is there a team? Because she says we, but it's just I.
Literally, I always speak in plural for some reason. But it is me predominantly up until last December. I recently posted a video of our hero behind the scenes, Kathy. She joined last December, and she's been an absolute asset to Leap ever since.
Yeah. Was it the video where you got her a cake, I think, or something? That was so
for
cute.
Her first year anniversary with us. She's an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah.
But that's been really great to kind of have that sort of help behind the scenes, so that I can balance and manage to do more of what I enjoy.
Yeah. Which is not the day-to-day admin work.
It's not the day-to-day admin work.
But like, was that your goal all along, where you were like, I am gonna be like hands-on, I'm gonna be like just a one-woman show, or do you have plans on like, growing a team?
I think the whole one-woman show came about just through my sheer eldest daughter, eldest sister characteristics and personality traits. Very hyper independent, very controlling, working on it. But yes, I do hope for Leap to kind of be a bit more automated, because I am now kind of taking on different projects at the same time. I can't speak much of them now. Thus, I am looking to venture into different things. I've learned so much from Leap. It continues to teach me a lot. It'll always be my like guinea pig business where I try and experiment with and just play with. But I'm ready to take on new things in parallel, and so Leap eventually needs to kind of operate on its own.
Yeah.
What is next for Leap though? Like, what can we look forward to? If you can say.
I'm currently at a crossroads because I really want to do more for girls that are coming of age on the younger spectrum, but I also want to be able to speak to and continue to serve women that are kind of leaving menstruation and moving into menopause. It's a lot to kind of target both audiences at the same time, but I'm very excited to be working on our first little booklet for little girls, and that's hopefully will be like our very first publication as Leap, walking them through like the period experience in a very Leap-like fashion.
Is it going to be in Arabic?
Both English and Arabic.
Oh my God.
We're working with a children's illustrator, children's author. I'm just over the moon excited, not only for the content, but just the representation in that little booklet we're working on.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you really make it seem like it's a breeze.
Yeah.
Honestly, like even like one thing that also draws me to Leap is how you're in this content. Like we see you, you know, stocking, restocking, like, you know what I mean, doing inventory and all of that. And it's so fun to see the not only like just the brand, like the person behind the brand. And like you said earlier, like there have been, you know, obstacles on the way, but like what is like one piece of advice that you would give entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs or in general entrepreneurs?
I mean, the ambition to start a business is great, but always start small. And I'm sure you guys, you know, had a certain vision for Sprinkles and Spice, but then had to kind of compromise and start on a realistic note and just kind of grow from there.
Yeah.
And I feel that holds a lot of people back because they think of a business and they want to hire, they want to rent, they want to. And Leap operated out of my house for like 3+ years, all alone. So it's, you know, start small, start somewhere, because you're bound to make a lot of mistakes. So don't make them very expensive ones. Learn from them and then just kind of grow when you feel you've really cracked the code for it.
Yeah, hit home for me. I actually had a business way before Sprinkles and Spice.
Okay.
I was supposed to start it 2020.
Nice. Okay.
And then COVID happened. But my problem was that it was very big. I was supposed to start it like very big. And then, you know, around COVID, it just crashed and burned. And it was hard recovering from that because I was constantly focused on that like big, you know what I mean? Just go big or go home. And now I'm thinking of like reviving it, but like you said, like start small, focus on one thing, because I realized that like when I was trying to just make it big, I feel like I lost my passion for it. I lost myself, I feel like, even like through it. She's looking at me so sad because she knows the journey. And even like I think I filmed a video 2 years ago when I was actually like picking up my stock from the warehouse. I was crying and it was tough. It was so hard because like I reached a point where I was like, I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. But now I think like I'm starting to actually be more optimistic and thinking of bringing it back. So maybe we will.
Absolutely.
Maybe we could do a collab with Leap.
Honored. I'd be honored. But yeah, I agree. And I think the smaller you start, the more attention to detail you can afford on like the little things that you get excited about, that the customer gets excited about, that just make everything a bit more meaningful, a bit more sentimental.
100%. Yeah. But I feel like it's a general theme here where we think that you have to start big for something to succeed. And honestly, for me, like I love seeing small brands like grow, like do one thing at a time and then excel at that and grow.
Absolutely. I also think just on like a really like realistic note also, it's also just not for everyone to be an entrepreneur. Like, you know, you guys are like, And you sometimes you gotta start small, and sometimes you can just sit in an office
yeah.
and clock out and call it a day.
Honestly.
Honestly, like being an entrepreneur isn't for everyone. And you have to, I think you have to be honest with yourself and tell yourself, do I want to put in all this work? Do I want to do all
Do
of
I
this?
even have the discipline?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because let's face it, some people are like, no.
Actually, that's a good point. Did you have to like practice a lot of self-discipline or teach yourself discipline, or did you actually start with that discipline?
I don't know. I think as the oldest daughter, oldest sister, I've always had that sort of discipline, but I definitely see what you guys are talking about because I see it with my younger sister. She's less keen on handling day to day, less, no shade, disciplined, but like, and less organized and whatnot. But she is great at selling something. She's great at designing something. She's great at of kind of coming up with a product and stuff. So we work together on Article. If you guys are familiar, I mentioned it very briefly on Leap last year. It's like this custom wrap skirt that we worked on together, and it was our first kind of clothing capsule collection that we launched, and we were a perfect balance because she never wanted to do the technical side of things, and I was also like not very comfortable in like having to handle a whole marketing schedule for a completely different brand as well. So we balance each other out. So yes, not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but you can always find that person that complements your weaknesses and is able to kind of make it work with
I feel like we never asked you this question, and I can't believe we're just asking it now. What is your background? What did you study?
Guess.
I would guess marketing, honestly.
I'm gonna do something completely random. Astrophysics.
Yeah. It's in the social sciences.
Law? Oh, that's humanities. That's humanities. What am I saying?
I don't know. Sociology?
Closer.
What's a social science?
Psychology?
Anthropology.
Oh.
Hey.
Okay.
Which I think maybe comes into play with my whole kind of marketing approach, trying to kind of understand the culture, finding that fine line of what's too much and what's culturally sensitive. But yeah, anthropology was a lot of fun. Also something I didn't really intend on studying, but I just kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
And here I am.
All right, Tarek has a question.
What is your question, Tarek?
Okay, so my
Pro-collagen
question is
Hey,
it, when you say it's biodegradable,
right.
is it, how does it degrade exactly?
Okay. Great question. Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you, Tarek.
Give me
okay.
a puff. Here you go.
So give me a puff. It never occurred to me like a puff.
Yeah.
Puff.
Give me a puff.
Eh.
Literally.
Yeah.
Back to the question. But when it comes to a biodegradable product, there are ideal conditions for that product to biodegrade. There are certain temperatures, certain materials that you can surround that product by to help it biodegrade a lot faster. Unfortunately, here in Kuwait, we don't have these composting facilities available. So it tends to go with just general waste. And even there, it does manage to biodegrade, but it will biodegrade at a much slower rate. But even then, that is a lot better than a plastic pad that'll never biodegrade, or it will take hundreds of years to break down.
Science.
Science.
She's a woman
In STEM.
STEM.
Woo! On that beautiful note, we would like to say thank you for educating us.
Aw.
Yeah. Honestly, like educated us on periods, sustainability,
Social media.
social media. We're going to be picking your brain once these cameras are off.
I really appreciate you guys for having me. I appreciate you for creating the space online for people to come to and enjoy. It's always been a dream and such a pleasure to finally be here.
Oh, that's so nice. Stop it. You're going to make us cry now.
It's been our dream to have you on.
It really has. Yeah.
It's
I know
quite
it was a long time coming.
Hell yeah.
But we made it.
I mean, after the caliber of the guests you bring in, I'm honored.
Aw.
That's so nice.
That is so nice. I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Let's do an awkward ending.
Okay.
Okay,
I
bye.
guess. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Thanks. Bye. No, but on a real note, and thank you so much again for blessing us with your presence here in the studio. And I think that's all the time we have for today.
Yes.
So if you liked this episode,
Like, comment, leave a review, anything less than 5 stars. And I hope your period pains are excruciating. Also, go and buy stuff from Leap.
yes. All right, you guys, we will see you next Wednesday. Bye.